Hi everybody.
Hi everybody.
Hi Jackson Joeys. This is Mr. Radcliffe, and with me I have my sons Cole and Silas, and they are here today to listen to and help me with the story that we'd like to read to you all today. I hope you're all doing well. I hope everyone is safe. I hope you're keeping yourselves busy inside your house and perhaps even having an opportunity to get outside a little bit and enjoy some of the sunny weather. But the story we have for you today is called A Fine, Fine School by Sharon Creech, and the pictures are by Harry Bliss. We do have the permission from the publisher of HarperCollins to read this story to you on our brand new Jackson Joey's YouTube channel. So with that, I hope you enjoy the story. A Fine, Fine School. Looks like a school.
Yeah.
Yep. Mr. Keene was a principal who loved his school. Every morning he strolled down the hallway and saw the children in their classes. He saw them learning shapes and colors and numbers and letters. He saw them reading and writing and drawing and painting. He saw them making dinosaurs and forts and pyramids. Oh, he would say, aren't these fine children? Aren't these fine teachers? Isn't this a fine, fine school? Near Mr. Keene's school, Tilly lived with her parents and her brother and her dog, Beans, in a small house next to a big tree. On Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays, Tilly went off to school. What day do you guys go to school? Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays? Just like this school?
Yeah. Yeah, first day. I always said Sunday.
No, not yet.
Saturday?
At school, Tilly learned her shapes and colors and numbers and letters.
Because
Sometimes, when she saw Mr. Keene standing in the hallway, he waved. Aren't these fine children?
because it's on March.
Yes. Aren't these fine children? He said to himself. Aren't these fine teachers? Isn't this a fine, fine school? On the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, Tilly climbed her favorite tree. I'm stuck. Get help. And she took Beans on walks and threw him sticks. Let go now, Beans. And she pushed her brother on a swing and tried to teach him how to skip. Be one with the skip.
I'm stuck in a tree, Daddy.
They're doing this on Saturdays and Sundays. But on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays, Tilly went off to school. Beans and her brother did not like to see her go. Hurry, hurry, hurry home, her brother called. Her brother doesn't want her to go.
Hurry, hurry, hurry home.
He misses her.
Her brother home.
One day, Mr. Keene called all the students and teachers together and said, "This is such a fine, fine school. I love this school. Let's have more school. From now on, let's have school on Saturdays too." The teachers and the students did not want to go to school on Saturdays, but no one knew how to tell Mr. Keene that. He was so proud of the children and the teachers of all the learning they were doing every day. Do you want to go to school on Saturdays now too?
No. I want to go in March.
Do you guys want to go on Saturdays too?
I want to go in March.
Okay. And so, that Saturday, Tilly set off for school. But it's Saturday! What about the swings? Her brother called. The following month, Mr. Keene announced, "This is such a fine, fine school. I love this school. Let's have more school. From now on, let's have school on Sundays too."
Oh, no.
The teachers and students did not want to go to school on Sundays, but no one knew how to tell Mr. Keene that. He was so proud of the children and the teachers and all the learning they were doing every day. Make sure you guys stay back so the boys and girls can see it. And so, that Sunday, Tilly set off for school. But it's Sunday. What about the skipping? Her brother called. The following month, Mr. Keene called everyone together and said, "This is such a fine, fine school. I love this school. Let's have more school. From now on, let's have school on holidays too. On Easter and Ramadan and Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah, on all the holidays on every calendar." The teachers and the students did not want to go to school on holidays, but no one knew how to tell Mr. Keene that. He was so proud of the children and the teachers and all the learning they were doing every single day. Over here on this one, her brother's not learning how to skip because she has to go to school.
Yeah, because she has paint on her.
It does have paint on her. And over here, he's so proud of his school that he wants everyone to be in school every single day.
I don't want to do that.
I know, that's a lot of school.
Chalk on her.
No, sit back down.
Okay.
Okay. And so on Christmas, Tilly set off for school. "But it's Christmas! What about Christmas?" her brother called. The following month, Mr. Keene called everyone together and said, "This is such a fine, fine school. I love this school. Let's have more school. From now on, let's have school in the summer too. All summer long. Every single day." It's a lot of school.
Yeah, that's school. That's school.
A lot of school, yeah. "How much we will learn," he said. "We can learn everything. We will learn all about numbers and letters, colors and shapes, the Romans and the Egyptians and the Greeks. We will learn about dinosaurs and castles and everything. We will learn everything." The teachers and students did not want to go to school on Saturdays and Sundays and the holidays and all summer long every single day. But no one knew how to tell Mr. Keene that. He was so proud of the children and the teachers and all the learning they were doing every single day. Nobody knew how to tell Mr. Keene. He's the principal.
Yeah.
I'm the principal. Do I look like that guy?
No.
No, he's a little bit different than me.
But I want to be the principal too.
You want to be a principal too? Okay. You have to do some learning, okay?
Okay.
Okay. And so, on the first day of summer, Tilly set off for school. "But it's summer. What about the summer?" her brother called. And that day, Tilly went to see Mr. Keene. She stood in his office in front of his desk. "What a fine, fine school this is," Mr. Keene said. What amazing things everyone is learning." "Yes," Tilly said, "we certainly are learning some amazing things. A fine, fine school," Mr. Keene said. "But," Tilly said, "not everyone is learning."
Yeah, everyone's learning.
Everyone's learning. "What?" Mr. Keene said. He looked very worried. Who isn't learning? Tell me, and I will see that they learn." "My dog Beans. He hasn't learned how to sit," Tilly said. "And he hasn't learned how to jump over the creek." "Oh," Mr. Keene said. "And my little brother hasn't learned how to swing or skip."
Cole still up.
"Oh," Mr. Keene said.
Sit down.
"And I," she said. "But you go to school," Mr. Keene said. "To our fine, fine school." "True," Tilly said, "but I haven't learned how to climb very high in my tree. And I haven't learned how to sit in my tree for a whole hour." "Oh," Mr. Keene said.
But he's still in
Okay,
there.
cool. You said a little bit. Thank you. I'll show you the pictures.
So the boys and girls can see.
Yeah. That day, Mr. Keene walked up and down the halls, looking at the children and the teachers. Up and down he walked. Up and down. Up and down.
Up and down.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
He looks worried. He was so excited about all the fine, fine learning that all the kids were doing.
Yeah,
And now
he
he's-
forgot it, and the other people at home are not learning.
Right,
They're learning the old stuff.
right.
Yeah.
The next morning, Mr. Keene called everyone together. The children and the teachers were very worried. Mr. Keene said, "This is a fine, fine school, with fine, fine children, and fine, fine teachers. But not everyone is learning." The children and the teachers were very, very worried.
Sit back down.
Mr. Keene said, "There are dogs who need to learn how to sit and how to jump creeks." What did he mean? Was he going to make their dogs come to school?
Yeah. Can I see? Can I see?
See the dog's writing there. I will not lick my classmates. I will not lick my classmates.
Because the teacher's mad.
Well, the dogs don't go to school though, right?
No, because
No.
the teacher's mad.
Yeah, she's not mad. She's just teaching. There are little brothers and sisters who need to learn. Hold on, one second, please. There are little brothers and sisters who need to learn how to swing and how to skip. What did he mean? Was he going to make their younger brothers and sisters come to school too?
Oh.
Sorry, can you sit up, please?
Sir, we just an A.
The children and the teachers were very, very worried.
Can I see? Like a dog.
And you, all of you, children and teachers, you need to learn how to climb a tree and sit in it for an hour, Mr. Keene said. 20 minutes to go. The children and teachers were very worried. Mr. Keene says, "And so, from now on, we will
Don't have school.
not have school on Saturdays or Sundays or holidays or in the summer." How does that make everyone feel?
Happy.
They're cheering, right?
Happy day.
A huge, enormous, roaring cheer soared up to the ceiling and floated out the windows so that everyone in the town heard the fine, fine children and the fine, fine teachers shout, "Fine, fine, fine."
Fine.
And the fine, fine children and the fine, fine teachers lifted Mr. Keene up, and they carried him down the hallways and out the doors and through the town, up and down, in and out. And everywhere they went, the people said, "What a fine, fine school, with such fine, fine teachers, and fine, fine children, and a fine, fine principal."
Let me see. Wow. It has a wonderful good day at school.
Okay, a wonderful good day. All right. Thank you, boys and girls, for listening to the story. I know that right now we are not in our fine, fine school of Jackson, but I hope that this book, helped emphasize that there's a lot of fine learning that you guys can be doing at home. Learning with your brothers or sisters if you have siblings, learning with your parents, and just taking advantage of this time to discover different learning opportunities that you can do at home. We miss you all. We hope to see you soon at our fine, fine school. And be safe, be well, and we'll see you soon. Bye.